morning. So we're back at the lake. It's a solo trip today, and it's going to be literally a very short trip. I'm probably going to drift just one long drift, probably 45 minutes, and then I'm going to head home. My trip canceled today because it's no cold, I guess. I mean, it's cold, but I feel like it's been worse the last 2 days or the last two trips that I've come out here. But yeah, they canceled. So I ended up working a little bit on the engine this morning. So I didn't get to the lake till about 8:15, 8:30. I ended up changing the primer bulb. So it's the primer bulb on the that goes from the gas tank to then runs to, well, actually the gas runs to the water fuel separator. The water fuel separator runs to the primer bulb, which helps to kind of like, I guess, flow gas up into the engine, and then it goes to the engine. So the primer bulb, when we checked it, my last trip out here, was just very flat. It just, I mean, super easy to squeeze. Didn't really feel like, when I would squeeze it, didn't really feel like it was pulling gas in. So we did put a new one on. Seems to be working better. I had it still a couple instances where when I was full throttling, where it kind of died like a little, but it's definitely running a lot better than what it was. So hopefully that's fixing part of the issue. But clearly something's still a little bit off. So probably the next thing I'm going to check is just the water fuel separator, to just be 100% sure that there's no water in the gas, which I don't think there is. But again, I'm trying to do like process of elimination here, so that'll be my next step as far as what I do to check the engine. But again, yeah, it's definitely running a lot better. So yeah, stay tuned, we'll see how we do. Be right back. Alrighty guys. Alright, so just been at it for about 5 minutes. Just do my intro. But real quick, normally when I drift for catfish, I'm usually drifting about 6 rods. It's just me. I don't want to have to mess with, you know, if a fish gets on it, if it gets tangled on a line, I don't want to mess with that junk. So I'm actually just drifting 4 rods today. So I've kind of got, you know, one in the back, very back of the boat, one about 2 rod holders up, and I skipped another rod holder, so 2 rod holders. I've got another one, then I skipped a rod holder, and I got another one up towards the front. So yeah, we're gonna be drifting just with 4 rods. You can do 6. I mean, most of the times, especially if I have clients, I'll do 6. And if you stagger your lines, like, so when you throw one line out, if you keep one line long and one line short, they keep kind of going back and forth, so you go long, short, long, short, long, short. That really does help eliminate, you know, tangles and stuff. Especially because, you know, the catfish don't really run a lot. So it does help, you know, lessen that issue, so long as you do the long, short method. But then sometimes, like on our last trip, the wind was kind of kept changing directions, and every time it would change directions, the boat would, you know, start to turn a little bit, and on some of those turns, you can kind of see your lines kind of getting real close to each other. And I think that's where we got one of our major tangles in one of those adjustments with the wind. The lines were probably just a little too close, so when that catfish hit, he didn't have very far to travel before he crossed over the other one. But if you have a pretty consistent wind, if you do the long short method, you're gonna stay pretty safe. But yeah, like I said, we're gonna just do a real quick drift. Probably about, like I said, maybe 45 minutes. I'm gonna smoke 1 cigar. So basically, probably the amount of time it takes me to smoke my cigar, and we'll be done. So no idea we're gonna get anything. So far the drift, the path that I wanted to run on, we're staying on that path pretty good, so I'm pretty hopeful that we're going to pass over something. And in case you guys don't know, if you haven't seen my other videos for drifting, typically what I do is I'll look for humps in the lake, anywhere where it goes from deep water to, you know, these basically a hill, so where there's these high elevations, so these deep drops. I try and position the boat wherever the wind is blowing, so that if here's the hump, wherever the wind is blowing at, I want to get the boat to start above the hump, go over through it, and pass it. And because a lot of times you may have some fish kind of like on the drops, waiting for something to come by so they can ambush it. So that's typically how I do it when I fish for catfish. There's definitely different methods for finding fish out here. That's just how I do it. But you know, each their own. Everybody has their own techniques. This is definitely not, I would not say this is a method for getting like large numbers, but definitely is a good method for getting some eaters on the table. So yeah, stay tuned. Alrighty guys, that's gonna call it for the day. Like I said, I was just gonna do one quick drift. I drifted for probably about, I think it was about 40 minutes. I had one good takedown. Man, he hit the rod and it was just like real quick, like three drops, and then he just dropped it. But that's all the action that I saw. Engine, it is running a lot better. There was still a couple of times where it felt like it struggle a little bit. I'm kind of hoping maybe just needs the fuel to kind of work through some kinks. The second time around when I was coming back to the shoreline, it seemed to be running even better. So we'll see. Like I said, I'm still going to check the water fuel separator. That's an easy thing to check. It's kind of just located, you know, right underneath my engine. It's really easy to get to. So I'm just going to probably next time I come out, take that off. Just make sure there's no water in there. Biggest thing, make sure I don't see any like particles when I dump it into a container. I want to make sure there's no like debris or anything kind of going in there. But yeah, that'll be the next thing. Enjoy the short video. It is cold, but yeah, I'm gonna call it a day real early. I'm gonna go pick up Mateo. He's at my in-laws. I think the Whitney Museum right now has the monsters of the deep, I think they're calling it, but it's basically all these like river monsters and lake monsters and all this other stuff as far as fish. So I might go pick him up, take him there, so you can go check that out. We've been wanting to go for a while. But yeah, enjoy the video. See y'all later. Thanks, as always. Bye.